Here we go guys, this is the most exciting moment of the season, League Start. To make sure you pick the right build according to your liking, I have made a list of top League starter for the upcoming season of PoE 2/3 Edict. There is a link in the description with all builds, creator name, YouTube video and so on. Quick disclaimer here. Since this is early access, GGG is not giving us full information about the change even though we have the patch notes. As an example, the skill tree has not been revealed. So, when I show the skill tree for each build in the video, this is as a reference. There will be some changes that we need to adapt to when the game goes live on Friday. One more thing before starting. To make it easier to follow, I've segmented the video class by class. Let's see what build I have for you. Let's begin the list with the absolute meta class, Ranger. Spoiler alert here, Deadeye is everywhere. And I'm going to start with the elephant in the room, Lightning Arrow Deadeye by Fabgun. This is likely to be the most played build on League Start, and for a good reason. Deadeye has been buffed and it is going to be a great League starter. There is nothing better than blasting maps and off-screen everything by shooting thousands of arrows per minute. This build is exactly that, and it's also great for bossing. About the buffs. We are getting more accuracy per level from 3 to 6, and per dexterity points from 5 to 6. On top of that, accuracy penalty with distance is also getting buffed, with a maximum of 90% from 100% at 14 meters. For the Ascendancy itself, the Frenzy Charges nodes have been reworked and we are not taking them anymore. The Mark nodes got reworked too, and this is where it gets interesting. Now, instead of applying additional mark, we apply marks to nearby enemies and projectiles chained to them. Also, we got the new Bullseye's node that apply 10 stacks of critical weakness when we consume mark on enemies. It can stack up to 20 times on enemy, giving us up to 10% additional base critical hit chance. This is huge. We also get the new lineage support that makes us treat enemy resistance as inverted, which is freeing a lot of passive points on the skill tree that we were using on resistance penetration. Points that we can invest into something else, like the new defense mechanic, Deflect, which gives us a chance to prevent 40% of damage taken. With all that, it is safe to say that this build is going to be better offensively and defensively on the next patch. Now, on the same note, if you prefer cold damage over lightning, I got you covered with Saya's Cold Bow Deadeye build, which is really similar to the previous one, but with cold damage. Cold damage has been reviewed in the next patch, with buffs and new mechanics like ice fragments that some cold skill can generate, and some other that can consume them, allowing us to perform some huge cold explosion, making cold attack viable and very satisfying. For the two next builds, we are going on a crossbow journey. The first one will be Local Doomslayer Deadeye. This build is amazing on every department, from survivability to damage, and performs extremely well even in SSF. There is a very detailed guide, so make sure to check it out if you're interested. About playstyle, you will be shooting explosive grenade that you then trigger with explosive shot, dealing abysmal amount of damage with excellent AoE and clear. The downside is that it's a 2-skill combo, but this is at least 50% of the build in PoE 2, so this is not that big of a deal. We are getting tons of buffs from this patch, but I will list them on the next build on the list because they are very similar and worth checking too. And the next one is Explosive Shot Crossbow Deadeye from Firestorm. Explosive Shot was one of the highest damage combo in the first season of PoE 2. It did receive a nerf in next patch, but we need to remember all the buffs that we are getting from increased dexterity bonus, instant weapon swap, lineage support, the addition of motor cannon, double shock duration, remove restriction to use the same support multiple times. The list is really long and I'm probably forgetting a few things. The TLDR for this build is you shock enemies, then explode the shock from them, dealing devastating damage. One last thing for this build, Firestorm released his League Start plans a few minutes ago and he is starting with crossbow. Not on a Deadeye but on a mercenary instead. Link to his video is in the description, check it out if you're interested. Last minute addition to this list, the notorious Junground just released his League Start plans a few minutes ago, and what would be a League Start list without a good Junground's bait? And this one is going to catch some very nice fish for sure. It is going to be Ball Lightning Infusion Deadeye. It is quite similar to the other infusion builds I talked about previously, so I'm not going to talk extensively about it, but his variation is using Ball Lightning to generate large amount of energy and Infusion Remnant to empower either the new Frost Dart or Fireball spell. On top of that, he will be using Cast on Crit or Cast on Ailment, I would assume the second early on, then swap to Cock when his crit chance gets high enough in endgame. Deadeye is extremely good for his build too, since you get additional projectiles and high crit chance. And for the last Ranger build, I wanted to include the Lightning Spear build, which is Lightning Spear, Wind Serpent, Deadeye by Asmodeus. It was dominating the meta last season, and even though it got nerfed, with all the global buff that we are getting this league, it will still be absolutely viable. It was so popular that I don't think I need to go over the build again, but if you want an easy time with good damage and excellent clear speed, this build is also for you. Now let's move on to the next class, the Witch. The first build that I'm going to present here is going to be experimental, and this is my own making. This is the one I'm the most excited about because it relies on several mechanics and has a lot of synergies, most of them being new. It is a Blood Mage dexterity stacking, life stacking infusion. Firestorm looks like a solid choice for our main skill, but this is flexible since whatever we use, we stack life and dexterity to make anything stronger. Then we use the new infuse mechanic to boost our damage even further. As always, any stacking mechanic that gives us offense and defense in PoE tends to be overpowered. Here, we are getting life by stacking dexterity, and crit multi by stacking life. We can even get spell leech or even more life from the ascendancy according to what we choose. Blood Mage got buff this patch, so it is viable as a league starter, granting us the very first node for free when ascending. Generating Infusion Remnant can be done through multiple ways with Orb of Storm, Snap or Frostbone for example, and can be even fully automated by using the new Siphon Element aura that gives chance to generate Infusion Remnant on Freeze, Shock or Ignite. We can top that with Harmonic Remnant, which is a tier 2 support that gives 20% chance to generate additional Remnant, but also to collect them from 100% further away. Of course, all this needs to be tested, but all the intertwined mechanics makes it really appealing. The main issue is if we are investing into dexterity, will be to meet the intelligence requirement for our skills and support. That will necessarily be an endgame setup where we will likely use Astromantis. The next build is similar to this one but without dexterity stacking. This is Arc Blood Mage by Pudget 2. The main difference resides on the usage of Arc as the main skill, cast on crit trigger and stacking mana with Archmage. He is also making use of the new infusion mechanic and looks like a solid option for league start. If you want more information, check the video link in the description. The next build on the list is going to be Lich Arsonist Detonators by Faceplays. With its minion style, it has decent clear speed, good defenses with decent amount of block and energy shield, and ES recharge to make it even tankier. It has this unique and satisfying playstyle of detonating your own minions, where Raging Spirit becomes living grenades hunting down their targets, just waiting to be exploded. There is several buffs to this build, like to remove necessity of accuracy rating for minions, and another skill able to revive minions more consistently. In endgame, you can swap to Chaos Inoculation with investment for even tankier version. And next we have another very interesting build. It is Chaos Fireball Blood Mage by Goratha. If you like fireworks effect, this one is for you. You'll be shooting fireball all over the place, which will be very satisfying visually and also very strong. There is a few items required to get for the final version of the build, which allows you to fire that many projectiles, but this is far from being impossible to achieve. Long story short, your fireball gets multiplied while forking. On top of that, we're taking advantage of the new Black Flame Keystone, which converts our fire damage into chaos damage. This lets us fully benefit from chaos synergies like Wither and Despair, while also exploiting the fact that monsters naturally have lower chaos resistance. The only downside is that Snake Pit Unique Ring might be a bit hard to acquire on league start, which is a big upgrade for the build, but you'll get one eventually. And for the last Witch build, I'm absolutely sold on that one. This is Mana Stacking Thorn Infernalist by Lily Donde, aka Silly is Lily. If you told me mana stacking together with Thorn's damage couple months back, I would have called you crazy. But not only does it work now, it also looks really strong. Needless to say, the build will be very tanky. The Thorn archetype just received two major buffs. One being the change to Ice Stone body armor, allowing us to gain up to 18% of our mana as cold Thorn damage, and on the other side, Shield Charge has been changed and no longer has a cooldown. I won't go much further into details, go check Lily Dante's video about it. The Infernalist Ascendancy is perfect for this build, letting us double dip on many layers of defense and mechanics by reserving life and gaining mana from that, for instance. Let's move on to the last class on the list, Warrior. There is not so many builds that look really appealing for Warrior, but one of them is mana stacking in Cold Town's Warbringer by Koltorak, which is a very similar version of the Infernalist that we just talked about. I won't say too much about it because we already explained the Infernalist version, but this one looks just as good with different layers of defense, like block, and the reworked Jade skill from the Ascendancy. Koltorak is a player dedicated to Thorn builds and has been dedicated to make it work from Season 1. You can definitely trust him on that topic and go check his video about it. And the very last build on this list will be Totem Master Warbringer by PoE Guy. If you enjoy a more cozy playstyle and want to let your totem do the heavy work for you, look no further. The Warbringer Ascendancy has been buffed, yes buffed. Even though some changes may appear like nerfs, this is globally a buff. Block chance has been globally nerfed on the game, but with Warbringer, we can still get 75% chance to block. The Jade stack, which grant physical damage reduction, are not being lost anymore on hit. I'm not going to go over the entire changes, but another major change is for totems to use our weapon instead of scaling damage based on their level. This is why totems got a huge damage nerf, because using our weapons will make them a lot stronger. It is going to make it a bit more difficult to craft our endgame gears, but damage will definitely be higher. Before ending the video, I would like to remind you that I have a Google Sheet link in the description with even more builds if you didn't find one that you like for League Start on this video. Also, League didn't start yet, but we can already see a clear domination of the Deadeye Ascendancy. However, I'm really happy to see that Blood Mage is rising on top tier Ascendancy with a lot of variations, and I truly hope that it will turn out as good as we expect. Don't forget to show some love to all creators mentioned in this video and to like, share, comment and subscribe to help my channel and allow me to keep making these videos. I hope you'll have a great League start. There will be a lot of new players since PoE 2 is getting free for the first time over the weekend, so I wish you a great first experience with the game. Did you find the build, or are you still unsure and will decide at the last minute? Let us know in the comments. For my personal plan, I'm definitely going to start as a ranger to go Deadeye. I will be flexible over the campaign between bow and crossbow, but it's more likely that I will go with lightning arrow since I have more experience with it. I'll keep you guys updated on my progression over the next week. And this is it for today, so until my next video, take care of yourself and bye!
Last night I had a dream, dropped the mirror on stream. Oh my god, what's so clean, best thing I've ever seen.